Welcome back to another episode of StitchPhiles with Barudan America. I'm Brandon.
And I am Bob. Did you turn that thing on?
Yeah.
Okay. I never saw you hit the button.
You don't see me do a lot of things.
No, but usually you're very meticulous and you have a what am I trying to say?
A routine?
Yeah. Well, you have an order. After you turn the camera on. This, you threw me with this. This is new.
Yeah, I want to run it straight into that.
Okay.
Just so I don't have to do it later.
I'm done when it comes to.
Just so I don't have to download it when we get done.
Oh, okay. So you can still, yes.
I can steal?
Yeah, you can link them. Whatever.
Speaking of steal.
I think I've been hitting the old steal.
I was going to say, that's a good transition.
Yeah.
So we're talking all about the cap frames today.
We are.
And the advantages of the Advantage cap frame.
Yeah.
And driver.
Nice segue.
Thank you. Housekeeping, GPX Charlotte coming up 16th, 17th.
17th.
Yeah.
It's a Friday, Saturday show.
Saturday in Charlotte. So I will put a, a coupon?
Well, they sent us an invite with a link to where you can go onto their website and register for the show. I don't know if there's any discounts or anything.
It's $25. Whatever their $25 fee is, you don't have to pay that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to say this. I didn't even look at it because I get to go for free.
Yeah.
I don't have to
I
pay.
also. But the code is Barudan6NC, but I'll put it in the whatever
if
socials.
If you're in the 2,000-mile radius, come to the show. Come and see us.
Yeah. We'll have Pro XL coming with us.
And
we decided not to take the...
Yeah, with the seal one, it's kind of... Plus, well, the biggest reason is we could probably get it on there okay, but there's only you and me.
John will be there. John's coming.
Well, we can't keep... It's hard to keep all the machines running.
It is, yeah.
And I like...
And keep people entertained.
Even though the design we're sewing, that big dragon that we're sewing on the Pro 3, runs a long time, still yet, people come to see the machine sew, and if we don't know how busy the show's going to be. It sounds like a cop-out, but it's not. You know, we run the machines the entire time. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
If the only time they stop running is if they run out of bobbin, or maybe once or twice they'll break a thread, or if they're at the end of the design. But to keep that little XL going on the caps, you know, we got to keep the caps framed up for it too.
Yeah, yeah. Because
people don't come to see. I know it's hard to believe. People don't come to see you and me. They come to see the stars of the show, which are those blue machines over there. And listen, even though we don't have inventory, and
what?
Yeah, it's going to take a while to get a machine. But if you're thinking about it, if you're just interested in embroidery, you know, come by and look at them, because you can see the quality of the stitching, see the machine. We'll let you change your bobbin if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even do that.
You can even touch the machine.
You can touch it.
It's just good to see the operations of it. See the automat if you haven't seen it, you know.
Yeah.
Get hands and eyes on.
Yeah, it's more of a printing show than anything. A lot of printing and engraving, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, they had that. I think we talked about it before that. It was a guitar made out of, what do they do, 3D printed guitar?
I can't remember what show. That thing's been around for 3 or 4 years.
That's the first time I saw it.
It looks like a Stratocaster.
It was a Strat. Yeah. Well, rip off, I guess.
I guess. Well, Fender could sue them. But
they could.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
How many people have knocked off a Stratocaster? How many? Every freaking company except Gibson.
Paul Reed Smith did when John Mayer jumped over to PRS.
Oh, they took a Strat body and put a PRS neck on it.
It's different.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
You like that headstock?
Mm-hmm. I have one, so I do like it.
You have a PRS. You don't have a Strat.
Oh, you mean it's a PRS headstock on a
Stratocaster body. I have a Stratocaster.
I know. Do you not like the Stratocaster headstock?
I love it. I think the 6 keys on top,
6 in line,
the way that it pulls the strings, best invention ever. Paul Reed Smith's good too, the way they do it.
Yeah, they're good.
Gibson sucks.
Oh, shots fired.
No.
Welcome to Guitar Talk.
I have a Les Paul, but the strings go.
You've had nothing but intonation troubles and tuning troubles.
I'm thinking about stringing it up with embroidery thread.
I'll tell you. Where's that box? We have a box of thread.
Pink thread.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It's basically fishing line.
Yeah, we had a customer send us some thread, which is not embroidery thread. Actually, it wasn't a customer. It was one of our distributors. And wanted to know if it would work on an embroidery machine. So I did a little, I'm not going to mention the thread because it doesn't matter, but it's not embroidery thread, it's sewing thread. Before I put it on the machine, I took it to Brandon. I said, man, look at this. And I knew it was going to have issues.
I told you it felt like fishing line.
Yeah.
And it has a monofilament in the middle of it, does it not?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It did cut. It wouldn't sew, but it would cut, which...
It was, you ever watch Forged in Fire or whatever?
Yes, where they make those swords.
Yeah, he goes, it will cut.
Yeah.
That's what it will cut. It won't sew. Yeah. And it's because it won't make a loop. That's what you determined.
Well, it's so stiff. It's like a piece of hose. And I think my theory is that when it goes down to make a stitch, it's so stiff that it just, you heard the machine was clanging.
I didn't hear it. I was zoned out. But
well, I thought about messing around with the.
My theory is if you change the timing, I think it would sew.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do it.
I wouldn't either.
Well,
you got to change it back.
Well, no, it's not that. I don't mind doing it. It's not that. It's just that, can you make it so? Yes. Is it really made for embroidery? No, it's not. So they're talking about buying a really expensive single head Whitefield machine. And I'm very nervous, me doing a little bit of testing, that it would work as they want it to work. And the simple reason is it's not embroidery thread.
Right.
Now, there are other threads out there. I mean, there's a thread that Coates makes they could probably use. You know, the one I'm talking about that looks like the yarn, like what Polo uses.
Yeah.
It would probably work. Well, it will work. But the issue, too, is that thread is, you have to slow the machine down so slow to get it to sew.
Was there a reason why they wanted that thread?
They do upholstery.
Oh, that's
Remember?
right. That's right.
They were going to do the boring needle, and
yep.
And it's really, for them to make satin stitches with that thread is going to be an issue. If they were just making some wide fills or something, it would probably be okay. But I need to call Matthew and get more details on it. I just don't really feel comfortable with it because they buy that big expensive machine, and well, you said it would work. Well, I said I think it would work.
That's your out.
No, you could make it work, but is the machine going to work
to its full capacity?
Yeah, it's not. Yep. And it's not going to produce like they want it. I'm just really nervous about that. If it were just embroidery thread, I'm like,
heck yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that's the kind of sales experience you'll get here. We'll tell you the truth.
Hey, look, this machine that they're wanting to buy is a very expensive machine, and we could do really well with it. But I do not want to sell them something that's going to come back and haunt us or cause issues or have the customer not happy with it. I really don't. I'm serious about that, because if I tell you it's going to work, then I'm confident. I'm not confident with this. Do I think we can make it work? Probably. I'm already out. Yeah, I know. It's too
many question marks.
Yeah. So anyway.
But that's what you should do. Tell them the truth and say, hey, this is not.
Well, are they set on this thread? That's what I want to know. And when I looked up that thread, it's sewing thread. It's made to sew leather. I showed you that. Handbags and shoes. Mm-hmm. Did I show you that?
You told me. You didn't show me.
You told me. I looked it up.
Sometimes telling me is just good as showing me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. All right. What are we talking about?
Guitars, Guitars, Cadillacs, hillbilly music. Shout out Dwight Yoakam if you're listening. We know you're listening.
Yeah, I know he is. He's a big fan of these. I saw his Instagram post.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into the ins and outs of the Advantage cap system and what kind of sets it apart. Because we teased when we did the What Makes a Barudan podcast that we would dive into this a little bit. Mm-hmm. And it might be short and sweet, but there's definitely significant things that set our cap system apart from the competition.
And we're going to tell you why.
We are.
Why?
Yeah. So we'll. You want to go over the framing device first? Is that what you decided?
No, let's explain what we're talking about when we say
do that.
A cap frame set. A set is the driver, which is this right here. This is the apparatus that goes onto your machine.
And we want to mention, let's mention real quick, I'm going to say girth. I think that sounds
okay,
appropriate and also inappropriate. Yeah. It's heavy.
It is, you asked me what it weighed. I don't know, but it's pretty substantial.
Yeah. Didn't we say, we guessed at it. I could do about.
You think it's 4 pounds?
I don't know. I need to put it on a scale. Let me get a grip of it. I'll do a couple bicep curls for the girls. No, it's not 4 pounds.
I'm pretty weak. I'm old.
You got old man strength. Anyway.
What do you call it when your muscles atrophy? Atrophy, yeah. See, I may be weak here.
You're no smooth brain.
Got a huge muscle right there.
That's right. It's the most powerful muscle, some say.
In your body. That's what I think. Got off track.
Not really. I was talking about how robust. That's a good word.
It is. But the reason is it's heavier than our competitors. Well, let me back up. You're going to get a cap driver. Let's say you're going to get two
cap frames.
You frame one while the other one's swinging on the machine. And then I don't know if you can see this apparatus back here.
Maybe not. I'll do. I'll film this and throw it into the.
It's the cap. We call it a cap framing device. Some people call it a jig, but it's what you need to. It holds the cap frame while you frame the cap.
Yep.
And that's a set. Now, if you get a 6-head, you're going to get one framing device, 6 cap drivers, 12 cap frames.
Correct.
If you get every machine gets a cap framing device because you don't need 6 of them.
Right.
And we sell them if you want. We've had a few people over the years that have bought an extra one.
Yeah, there are people that have some shops I've been. They have them set up.
Yeah.
Like in a row, and they just pop.
But you can. There's a part number for it. We can sell you one separately, or if yours gets broken, I don't know what. If it fell off the table, I guess it could crack.
It's also pretty robust. Is that PVC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only part of it. The rest of it,
if
you look at it, it's solid metal, and it's designed to either bolt to a bench, or
use the C clamps.
We give you 2 C clamps where you can clamp it onto your machine, or clamp it onto a bench where it doesn't have to stay there permanently. But that's what the set, when we say cap set, that's what it comes with, the Advantage Plus cap set. Driver, 2 cap frames per head, and a cap framing device per machine. So that's what the system is. Let me check that off my list.
We got lists.
Yeah, we do, because our memories are better. Mine is. The other thing that's important about this, too, is this drum right here is milled from a solid block of aluminum. So they cut the aluminum into, I don't know, probably 4 inches thick, and it's solid, and it goes into a CNC machine, and then it gets routed out or milled out to the shape that we use for the driver. Then once they're done, they get polished. They get sent off to be anodized. That's why they're that pretty blue. They don't come like that.
I love it.
Well, it finishes it off too. Instead of painting it, when it's anodized, it doesn't chip or rub off. It will rub off after time, but it doesn't chip off or get ugly looking. So even if you look at I've got a driver here. I think the one that's on that XL, it's got a little scuff marks on the inside of it there. But I think that thing's about 12 years old. I've had that forever. Because when I get these machines, I've in the showroom here, in the world headquarters of Barudan,
LA,
we get these machines. We keep them for a year. We usually sell them.
These not anymore
on them because we have none to replace it, because we're selling them to customers. Thank goodness. Unless something were to change, I'm going to keep them for a while. But I keep all the hoops and the cap frames in the box. So when the machine does get sold, whoever buys the machine, even though they've been used here in the showroom or they've gone to shows, they're going to get a new box of cap drivers, frames, and accessories, which is really nice.
It's real nice.
Yeah, I think it's a nice thing that we do.
So talk about the benefits of that coming out of a solid block of steel or aluminum as opposed to.
Well, it's not going to warp,
right,
for one thing. It's more precise when you mill something instead of trying to put it together.
Piece it together.
It makes it rounder, or keeps it round, or makes sure that it's round.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm following. Yeah.
Yeah. And even though these are heavy, aluminum's lighter. If you could think, if you made that out of steel, how heavy it would be. And you got to think too, if you've got a 6-head machine and you've got 6 of these on that machine, the machine has to be pretty strong.
Which speaks to the pantograph on the machine.
Yeah, to move 6 of these.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty impressive that you can sew these things on caps 900,000 stitches a minute. And
900,000?
900,000 stitches a minute. 900 to 1,000 stitches a minute. And it, you keep registration, and the design's going to look good. So, the driver supports, everything else that's supported on here is formed steel. So, as we've said this before, these are made right down the road here in Randleman, North Carolina.
Level cross.
I call it Randleman. You have to go through Randleman to get there. It is level cross, actually. I just figured if somebody looked on the map, they would never find level cross.
That's Richard Petty's.
Yeah. But people don't know. Probably don't care.
Number 42.
Randleman's got a Walmart. It's substantial.
It's Randleman.
It's got a Walmart, Sheets, one of the last Hardys.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Not the last. There's one in Thomasville, but
is there?
There is.
The one in Archdale closed.
It's sad. I love a Hardee's.
I like their biscuits. And my dear mama loves Hardee's biscuits, and she can't get them anymore. Unless I go to Randleman.
Or Thomasville.
Which is closer. Thomasville's closer.
For sure. Yeah.
So,
the form steel.
The form steel on the driver means it's very precise. It's really cool. We've been down. I've been to the EFP dozens of times, but you've been down a couple times too, and watch them make these. I asked Derek one time how many steps it took, and it takes a lot of steps. It's got a lot of nuts and bolts in it, a lot of small pieces that you don't really know that each one of these pieces has to be made, and they make everything down there. The only thing that's bought off the shelf down there is the nuts and bolts and the screws. That's it. Everything else is made, and which is really nice, because if there's any changes that need to be made to it or any tweaks to it, they're just right down the road here, and we can go down there and say, hey, look, can you fix this or do this or improve it? But really and truly, this thing has been the same for quite a long time, and there really hasn't been a way, or hasn't been any reason to change it. So I think that speaks a lot for the quality and what it does. It's made us, it's put us at the top in cap production and embroidery. And if it's not broke, why mess with it?
I've had a couple people call today, and they were like, yeah, we want to do hats, and we're told you're the best. I said, well, thank you. I think so as well.
They were told right. The other thing, too, and this is a really big deal, in my opinion, and I've seen all the cap drivers by every other embroidery machine that's out there. We're the only one that uses a stainless steel band. You probably can't see it.
This is
wrapped around this drum.
This is crucial.
It is so important, because everyone else uses a cable system, which wraps a cable around it and ties it on both ends. We use a double, you can see right here, a double stainless steel band. Well, you probably can't see it.
You'll see it.
But take
there
my
will be
word
close-ups.
The thing about the steel band is it's not going to stretch.
Right.
There are adjustments on here, but these are really for, I'll tell you why these are here. That stainless steel band is not going to stretch. People drop these.
Yeah.
And if this gets bent in a little bit, you can straighten it and adjust it back. The cables, over time, they stretch, and you may wonder, well, why is that a big deal? Well, if they stretch, then when your pantograph moves, there's going to be slop in the driver.
Right. So
your registration is going to suffer, and your stitch quality is going to be horrible. With this, it doesn't. And yes, the cables have adjustments on them. They all do. But still yet, you don't have to adjust this one. I know, like this one here, honestly, that one's about 12 years old. I've never messed with it. And it's sewn. It has sewn hundreds, probably 1,000 caps.
Do you remember the Ronco rotisserie oven?
Do I remember it?
Mm-hmm. The commercials?
I have one.
You don't.
Why not?
You don't have one.
I think I do.
Anyway, they would say, you set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing with the driver. Do you want to be messing around with that cable adjusting it? Yeah. Or you just know it's right?
Yeah. And I think that's a really big deal. I do.
It is a big deal.
And I tell everyone that at shows, that's one of my selling points is go look at the competition's driver. Mm-hmm. They have wires or cables. We use a stainless steel band. And it's to me, it's going the extra mile to make it better, longevity, last longer, fewer parts to wear out.
It's more better.
Yeah. Quick change. A lot of we've had a couple of our customers, not customers. There's a couple competitors out there, and I don't like to say this, but I'm going to. They put some erroneous information out there. They said we had to have tools to put our cap driver on.
Say that we do?
Yes.
Oh,
I'll tell you who that is off the air.
I wish you'd say it right now.
No,
we need a little controversy.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I'm just kidding.
I
don't expect you to do that.
But it makes me mad. It's in their literature and it's on their website, and it just ticks me off. And whenever I see them,
I already know who it is.
I'm going to tell them nicely,
cut the crap.
No, I'm just going to say, how about taking that? What you're putting on there is wrong. It kind of ticks me off a little bit because it's not true. There's no tools needed to put this driver on. That's what you need right there. Two hands.
Maybe you could probably do it with one.
Well, if you only have one, you could figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
Because you take the arms, the sewing arms off, which are held on by two knobs, and there's a place where this goes with two knobs, and you got these little cutouts right here where it goes. This slides on to the sewing arm, and then it has a cam lock system right here. These two levers will lock it on to the pantograph. There are no tools needed, none whatsoever.
And even on the XL doesn't have the cam arms; it has the screws. But
yeah, it's
still toolless.
Yeah, it's still no. It has knobs on the bottom and knobs on the top because it's kind of a stepchild. It's got a different pantograph on it. It sews great. Matter of fact, I sew most of the hats on that machine.
Yeah,
I love that little XL. Not that the other ones don't do it well. It's just we always keep it set up for caps at shows.
That's what we sew at the shows.
And the reason I've done that, a long time ago, I used to just sew flats on it at shows, and people would say, "Well, that little machine won't do caps, will it?" I'm like, "Yeah, it does caps really well," and they're like, "Well, it's little. I don't think it does caps very well." Anytime we do a show, like we're going to Fort Worth at the end of September, I put the 6 head out sewing caps, and I put the XL out there sewing caps. And I'm telling you, it does. And when we get finished sewing the caps, we put them all in a big pile, and you cannot tell which machine they come off of. There's no way you can tell.
No, that's something.
It does a phenomenal job.
That's something a lot of people ask, like, "Well, will the XL do caps the same?" Yeah. Just the attachment method for the driver's different.
Well, the guys up in Pennsylvania,
Pennsylvania,
in Hanover. We took a couple XLs there.
Yeah.
They use XLs for their testing, their cap testing.
Stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
So anyway, I just want everybody to know there's no tools needed to put this on.
Yeah, which a lot of the other manufacturers, it's a nightmare to get the drivers off or switch over from flats to caps. I've heard a couple people say.
Well, and there's another manufacturer out there that uses the sewing arms to put the cap driver on, and it goes on like a hoop. Well, the last thing you want to do is put a 3-pound driver.
What happens to your arms?
And they're going to sit there and flutter, and your registration and your sewing quality will have more thread breaks. I don't understand why they do that, because
you think of the stability that's created when that is mounted directly to the pantograph, and that's about all you need to know.
Well, what we've done with this driver is we've made it an integral part of the pantograph. Almost one piece. It's almost like bolting it on there, except you don't have to bolt it on there. The way that the knobs hold it and the way that these cam locks hold it on there. This part right here goes on the bottom of the pantograph, on the back lip of it. Like this goes on top, and it kind of hugs it, holds on
It's like a hug from your mama.
Except it's cold. It's not very hot. There are no pivot bars needed or no other support. When I first got in the industry, caps were just getting started on embroidery machines, and in order to keep it from flexing this way and this way, there used to be something called pivot bars. The first machines we had one pivot bar that bolted on the bottom of the cylinder, the cylinder arm, and it went through the center of the driver, and it kept it from doing this and this.
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
No. Then we came out with two. One had two on it. I want to think we went this way first, because as the machine started sewing faster, they were going to flex more.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went to two pivot bars going this way. I think we went this way first and then this way second.
For the listener, imagine scissors turning different ways.
Yeah. Well, they bolted to the bottom of the cylinder arm. There's still holes on there.
Oh yeah.
And those are for
that's what the
pivot bar. Right? I've got a pivot bar in that cabinet back there next to the bathroom.
Yeah, where all the
junk is. Yeah. Some of this stuff has been around for 30 years probably, but with this you don't have to because it is at one with the pantograph. Panagram. That's a.
What is that?
Pentagram? Isn't it that star thing?
That's a pentagram.
That's the devil. Pentagram.
Yeah. Pantograph.
Yeah. Okay. You got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, good driver. Get you one. Buy you one. Buy you one. I carry it around sometimes.
You can get a lot of those when you get your machine.
You can.
Yeah.
Just carry it around.
Yeah. They're beefy, man.
Yeah. It's like a big old cheeseburger. No. Beefy like a double whopper. Do they make a double whopper?
They'll put, the BK Lounge, they will make a hamburger out of anything.
When's the last time you had a Burger King? I haven't been to a Burger King. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Atlanta Airport. And I came in on a late flight. I was starving to death.
But when you are in that condition, there's nothing better than like some grease.
Yeah.
From
it was
the
the only thing
Lounge.
open.
It's flame broiled. You know they flame broil it.
Oh, the hamburger's good. It's all crap. They put it on it that's not good.
You say they don't have quality ingredients?
I didn't say that. If I did, Burger King, shout out Burger King, good hamburgers.
We just lost our sponsor for the week. Wouldn't it be crazy if like next week we're like, this week's episode is brought to you by Burger King?
And a bunch of Whoppers stacked up on the table. Wouldn't that be cool?
It wouldn't be cool.
No, it wouldn't be.
Because we'd have to probably lie and say how much we love it.
Well, we don't eat them.
I don't.
I mean, everybody in this office is on some kind of a diet.
We're just slowly dying.
You and Jamie are on a powder diet, some kind of powder stuff. I mean, man, that stuff that you cook smells delicious.
It tastes great.
I'll take your word for it.
I'm really trying to dial it in, man, because summer sucked. How
many poundages have you lost?
I lost 30 up until summertime, and then just like, hey, who cares?
It's good to wear until you get to vacation.
Yeah, and it's like, I started off good. Like the first week, or not the first like 2 days, I'm like, okay, I'm doing fine. Just ate dinner. And then it's just like, hey, let's throw this out the window.
Yeah. Well, your bikini days are over, so you don't have to look.
Well, I'm trying to get back to them.
Oh, are you really? Back to the bikinis?
I'm trying to get down. I'm trying to get shredded, y'all. When you see me in Atlantic City next year, you're going to be like, is this guy modeling the embroidered apparel? I'll be like, yes, I am.
And we'll probably lose you to some modeling agency, I'm sure.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
I have far surpassed my age.
I think you look good.
I look like trash.
30 pounds. I knew it was a lot.
It was, but I've probably gained it back.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Have you eaten that bad?
I go in spells, like through the summer.
Yeah, I was pretty good until vacation. And
okay. We're off the rails. So
let's go for it.
Yeah, the amount of pretzels that if I even ate 1/3 of the pretzels you ate, I would be 500 pounds. I can't look at bread. I don't know how you do it. You don't know either, do you?
No, I think my body is adjusted to them.
I guess so.
I love them, man. I can't give them
Oh,
up.
I do too.
I cannot give them up. Those big Snyder's or Hanover, those ones that'll break your teeth. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes. Jamie eats. She'll eat them. She'll ask me for one every time.
I love them with some hot
mustard.
mustard.
Pretzels today, and I'll say no. And then she'll hear me crunching in my office.
I've struggled my entire life with it, so I'm trying to just rein it in.
You struggle with
pretzels and other food. Yeah.
Man, yeah. I don't know. I pretzels. That's my crack. Some days I just eat pretzels.
You offer them to me almost daily. I'm like, nope, I've never taken one.
I just thought you didn't like them.
I love them.
Jamie likes them. She'll take one.
Yeah,
I know I've got a trail of crumbs going probably from your office.
He comes over there. It was today. He's standing there talking about something, just chips of pretzels flying out of his mouth. I'm like, dude, get it together.
They were. They're so good. The goodness
just sprays out of your mouth.
Pops out of your mouth. I can't explain it.
Sometimes I think like our roles are reversed. Like you're a child and I'm an adult. I'm like,
I do act like a child.
I'm like, can you please swallow your food and then have a conversation with me instead of shooting it all over me? I'm like, what's all over my shirt? It's like salt.
We were working on that project yesterday at Sarah's computer, trying to get that stuff off there. And I
told you to go away.
I got aggravated because you guys got it. I'm proud of you. But I'm like, I was getting aggravated because I'm like, they're not going to get it. So I said, you know what I need? I need a pretzel. So I took off my pretzel.
And you know what everybody in this room needs? Pretzel dust.
It's like what's the coal miners get? Black lung.
Black lung, yeah.
You guys.
We got pretzel lung.
90. You guys will die. Pretzel dust lung.
Yeah. It's like, we cut him open at the autopsy. The entire lung was filled with Bavarian pretzels. He never ate them. It's strange. He was just around a guy who spit them into the air.
All right. Let's
on to it. Now we're going to the frame, cap frame.
Man, I'm dying for a pretzel right now.
I know. I can see. Man, you're like salivating. You're like a wolf chasing a rabbit.
I'm having withdrawals. All right. Let's talk about the cap frame itself.
Exhibit A.
This, and as we said, you're going to get 2 of these per head per driver. And so what makes this so special, Brandon? You know why this is special?
I know. I'll tell you what. My favorite feature of it is.
Okay.
It's the split band.
Right. This band, go ahead.
Are there any other that offer that?
Everybody else uses a one.
That's correct.
Yes, and they don't last long. They break. Now these will break too after a while because I'll tell you what causes these to break. If you don't, they will get kinked. If you're not careful with them and you get them kinked, it puts a weak spot in them, and the more you bend it back and forth, they're going to snap. And it's just the nature of the beast. I always tell people, try not to kink these. You know, they're curved. They put a curve in them when they make them, but they have a serrated edge on them here that bites into the
grabs that
top of the cap, and you have a serrated edge right here. And I happen to have a cap right here. And what you want when you're framing the cap, you want it to dig in to this seam right here where the cap is sewn to the bill. And once this bites into it, it is extremely difficult to move this on the cap frame. And what that's going to do is, again, it's all about perfect registration. If the cap's moving on the cap frame, you're going to get out of registration. You're going to ruin a cap. But this is a stainless steel band. These bands, we sell these bands because, like I said, they will break. It's kind of hard to make it really thick and stiff and make it work like it's supposed to. So you have to make it as
it needs to be able to
flexible.
form to the cap.
Exactly. So you got to give up a little bit there. We've had a couple customers complain that, well, these break, you need to make them beefier. If you made them beefier, you couldn't get them around the cap, and they wouldn't hold the cap as tight. Yep. So you got to give up something. Anyway, we keep all these parts in stock. The only thing you would ever, if you lose a clip, maybe you shouldn't.
That's the other, I'm sure you're going to talk about it, but that gathering clip on the back of it is
that's the other thing too that we have. If you look at the competition and look at what they have little office clips, literally, that you get at Office Depot, And which means when you pull the material tight to do the sides of the cap, you have to hold it with one hand and put 2 clips on this side and 2 clips on this side. I think a couple manufacturers are down to 1 clip now, but it's not going to hold it as tight as what this clip will.
Yeah, because you have there's a cutout, well, like a bracket where there's.
Yeah, you probably can't.
We'll show you all this. Don't worry.
But anyway, there's 2 grooves in there where this clip goes, and it's a spring clip, and it holds the cap extremely. Again, holding it tight, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, you think about doing the sides of a cap. It's crucial to get that material pulled tight. So,
and I just happened to
looky yonder.
I just happened to frame up a cap, and you can see how nice and smooth the sides are.
Mm-hmm.
And the big reason is this clip right here. And when you're framing it, you pull all the excess material out.
Which we'll tell you. I'm going to put the link in the description and at the end for the cap frame video that you did a couple years ago.
Yep.
Because it's well done. That's how you do it, folks.
No, it is. If you're sewing, if you're not sewing on the side of a cap, you don't necessarily have to use this clip. But I do because I like when it's on the framing device. You could just put this band on there. You know, if it's a Richardson, you're just doing the front. You probably don't need to put the clip on there. I do. It's just a habit. I just do. I don't know why. To me, it's not complete unless it's got the clip on it.
Right.
But I know some folks don't. Now, if you've got an unstructured cap, you're going to have to put that clip on there because it'll flop around. But again, it's simple. And you can do it with 2 hands.
Not even 3.
And not even 3 hands.
You probably do need 2 hands to frame a cap.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
I don't like framing caps just because I don't do it that often. But when I do, like I've sewn some hats in here. Matter of fact, I got 2 coming I'm about to sew.
Oh, for personal use?
For myself.
Isn't that against company policy?
I'm going to do it after hours, son.
Yeah, but you're using company thread, company electricity.
I bought my own thread.
Machines. What about the electricity?
I'm taking it to the house. Anyway, I don't do it as often. Like
I'm still thinking about that. I need to come back.
Circle back.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I don't do it as often, I struggle with it. I have to sit there and you can't be ginger when you're framing
That's
a cap.
the biggest mistake I see with people.
Manhandle it or woman handle it.
They take those things and they just real gently, man, you've got to bend the bill.
Yep.
And, well, a lot of people now are wearing a straight bill cap.
I can't do it. I look like a dummy.
I look like Gomer Pyle. Can't do it. But, you've seen me, man. I manhandle them. I bend that. I pull on them and tug on it. You have to get it. If you just try to pull it and be gentle with it, it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
So you got to be mad at it. I told a lady one time, she was like pulling around on the cap. I'm like, man, pretend like it's your husband and he told you to go make him a sandwich and you're going to choke him. That worked. Evidently, he told her that because
she
ripped the bill off the cap. I had to get another cap. So maybe I shouldn't have used those words.
Yeah, you might have hit a sore spot.
I think I did. So, as I said, we stock replacement parts for the cap frames.
Mm-hmm.
I think that
and you can also get. I mean, EFP has them on there too. If you go to their site,
who makes them for us under contract for us. You can call them. If you don't want to call us, that's fine. Doesn't matter.
As long as you get what you need.
As long as you get what you need. But again, this is one part of the equation that makes Barudan cap embroidery the best. Of course, the other have to have the machine and the pantograph to drive it. Again, these being servo-driven machines, we can move the pantograph in a much smaller increment. Even when you put 6 or 8 or 12 or 15 cap drivers on a big machine, it is powerful enough to move that. You think about it. If it's making a 2 millimeter stitch or 1/2 millimeter stitch, you think how small that on a 12 or 15 head. That amazes me. A single head machine, I understand that. Yeah. When you put 12 or 15 on the machine and they all come off that machine looking exactly alike, that's precision. That's what I call precision.
Yeah. And like I said, it goes back to 2 podcasts ago where we were talking about all the things that make Barudan what it is. And
And things like we said, we kind of take it for granted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think about, it's like thinking about the human body. You take it for granted that you can breathe air, electricity's coming out of your heart, everything's going where it needs to go. That's no different than a Barudan machine. Everything is so intricate.
Digesting a pretzel.
Much like it.
Wouldn't you say that's a good comparison?
The way you eat it looks like a caveman.
I'm not that sloppy. It's not the way I eat. It's just they explode.
What's the times you choose to have a conversation when you're eating?
That's true too. I'm not very nice. Around you, I grew up around you.
I grew up around you. Yeah.
Well, again, I grew up too.
Again,
I was young when
you're still growing up. Social skills, learn them.
True.
Yeah.
If you got any questions about these cap drivers, frames, any of that stuff, give us a call. Call your sales rep. He can explain more. Or contact us. We'll be happy to tell you more about it. But we're really proud of this cap system and what it's done for us in our business. As everybody says when they call us, we hear you're the best in the industry, and the list of cap companies that use Barudans is very long and getting longer every day. I'm shocked at how well we've done. I'm not shocked.
No, I was going to say you shouldn't.
It's taken years of work to get there. We didn't used to do caps that well, and when I first started caps, you weren't sewing caps on a machine. I mean, I remember the very first cap frame that EFP made for us. It looked like a coffee can with a hole cut out in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody knew about this stuff, and then it took a lot of trial and error testing, to get it done. Because I remember when I remember sitting in on meetings and we asked the Japanese about caps. We need to sew caps, and they're like, "It's a fad. It'll go away. We're not going to mess with it." That's why we went to EFP to get our cap. Japan didn't want to make them. They're like, "That'll never catch on."
Now it's
to their credit, the U.S. is the largest.
Oh yeah.
Everybody here wears. I mean, I wear a cap. You do. I mean,
I do.
Your brother does.
99.
Everybody.
I
rarely. When I see you without a cap, I don't know you. I don't know who you are.
That's one.
When you come to my house with your glasses on and a cap, I'm like, I like
glasses and a cap.
Sometimes
glasses
you wear
and no hat. Yeah, I do. I almost wore them today.
Yeah.
No, it's that's one of the downsides of trade shows. I don't wear a hat.
People don't know who you are.
I don't know about that.
They probably do.
But I have. It wasn't a huge deal whenever I had very short hair. Now that I've.
So when you were doing physical therapy, did you wear a cap?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't.
I had short hair too.
That was more professional than this.
I don't know.
No. Maybe
it's
not.
It's not that different. You're just selling people's health to them and why they need to rehab after a knee. It's the same approach. You don't buy that?
I'm thinking about it.
All right. Let me paint a picture for you.
We can discuss it.
I'll paint a picture for you. You're 84 years old. You just got out of the hospital. Hip replacement. All you want to do is stay in your bed.
You're describing my life in about 15 years.
You think it's that long, do you? My job is to sell you on the idea of why you need to get up and why you need mobility, why we have to do these exercises, why I have to teach you how to take care of yourself.
Okay.
Same process.
I got you.
Yeah. So.
I never thought about it that way.
That's the only way you think about it.
You'd make a good salesperson.
That's why I think
a salesperson is in your future.
That's why I was a great therapist. I still could be. I still am a licensed one. But yeah, there are people like, I can't get this person to do anything. Call me. You'll make it happen.
How can I break my pretzel habit?
I can't help you with that.
Yeah, see, that's tough. That's you don't do this. You do joints, right?
It's all mental. It is.
Another tangent.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy our tangents. We try to entertain.
Yeah. There's
a little embroidery stuff, a little life lessons. I call them life lessons. We all need life lessons from time to time. And if you don't pick anything out of this podcast that's embroidery related, maybe something in your life.
Yeah.
Maybe we get something there. No, nobody else does that.
That's why this is enjoyable to me, because you're teaching, you're entertaining, talking about a fantastic product, a great company, but you're keeping people entertained and tuning in. Like, what's gonna happen next?
You never know what's gonna come out of our mouths.
Mm-mm.
You never know.
It's probably gonna be pretzel filled.
No.
Yeah.
The day that I start eating pretzels on the podcast is the day you need to wheel me out of here.
you should bring some and just.
I got some. They're
I know I could reach them.
I can see them.
Yeah.
on in my little lunch bag over there, and I can smell them.
It's driving you crazy. Just the yeast, their yeast in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's
shout out to the Bavarians.
Oh, they can make a pretzel. They make BMWs and they make pretzels. Which one you think came first?
It's pretzel. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
As soon as people learned how to make bread, they're like, let's twist this into a cool shape. Let's put some salt on it. You're done.
I'll tell you, anytime I go, if I fly to Europe and I fly through either Frankfurt or Munich, guess what I'm getting?
Do they have hard pretzels there?
No. They got the big soft ones.
I was going to ask you, do you like the soft pretzels too?
Oh, yes. I love pretzels. I don't like the is it Auntie Anne's, whatever, the airport pretzels.
I called it Aunt Annie's forever, and it's not that.
No.
You don't like them?
They got too much butter and stuff on them.
Dude, they'll put pepperoni on them.
Yeah. They make a pretzel dog.
Yeah.
You seen that?
Oh, yeah.
It's a pizza. Or a hot dog.
Yeah, hot dog is pizza.
Well, I mean, it's like what do you call those things?
Picking a blanket. Yeah. They do, but it's covered in pretzel dough.
But in Germany, in the beer gardens, if you go to the beer garden and get a beer, you get a pretzel.
Two things I'll never do: get a beer or a pretzel.
Well,
or go to three things. I'll never go to Germany.
You never know.
Oh, that's true.
Let's talk about another cap.
Yeah. So we're
cap frame over here.
This is the Hoop Tech
EMS Hoop Tech. For those of you that don't like our cap frame,
that's the Gen 2.
Yes,
right?
yes,
yeah,
it is the Gen 2. Because they sent this to me.
The Gen 1, you couldn't use the Gen 1 on the Barudan.
Yes, you could.
Okay,
you could.
Okay,
they've always made one for the Barudan. What you can't use is their pocket clamps.
Gotcha.
And the reason being is ours clamps on the inside of the driver. Everyone else's clamps on the outside.
Yet another interesting fact.
Yeah. No. So, and they never wanted to make one. They didn't want to make a different size. I understand it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I will tell you, if you're doing the really tall hats, and this will fit our driver.
Where'd you put the driver?
This will fit our driver. Clamps on the same way. I'll never do it.
You're not going to be able to do it.
I can't hold it. There it is. There.
You did it.
I did it. But look how big that window is.
Mm-hmm. That's sure like the big. I like to think of them as country music hats.
Yeah, maybe so. But the way that this thing now, you can't do the sides of it. It's only for the front for two panels. Man, I hate 5-panel hats. Ones with no.
You don't?
I don't like them. Can't stand them.
I have one.
That's a screen printing. I bet it's screen printed, isn't it?
It's got a patch on it.
Okay. You rarely, because you can't get those things to sit to curve.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will do a 6-panel. I don't really care, but if you ever get any 6-panel hats to do, which are a bear, this might be the thing for you. But and you have to have their framing device. This will not work on our framing device. You
which
have to have theirs.
It's hooked onto the table over there.
But anyway, I'll put a plug in for them. It's a very good product, and I will tell you, HoopTech makes good stuff. If they didn't, we would not endorse them. And they even, you may be watching this and you don't have a Barudan, and you don't like your cap frame, just a frame now. And these work on whatever manufacturer driver that you have. But if you're doing, if you want to do bucket hats on a Barudan, I recommend this because you can do a bucket hat on this. Yep. You can buy just the cap frame itself. No, you would have to have the framing device. I'm sorry. You'd have to buy the driver and the framing device from Hoop Tech. We don't sell these. We do recommend them if somebody's looking for something just to do bucket hats or.
There was a probably a little over a month trend there where it was
bucket hats.
Every other day I was getting a text or a call. Hey, what do you recommend for bucket hats? And that's what I tell people.
The reason we don't do bucket hats, and I'll show you right here, is because that double band right there, you can't get the bill of a bucket hat through here and get it clamped on there without making a mess. You just can't do it. Trust me, I've tried dozens of times, and I can't figure it out. And if you can, share your secret, because I can't do it. Now, you could probably cut this bottom of this band off, because that's what hinders you from doing it. But, man, this is not going to last very long without any support. If bucket hats are a big deal, some people, you can sew them flat. Hoop Tech also makes something called a side of the cap.
Yeah. Is it a side of the cap window or something?
Yeah, something like that. You could also probably do it with the quick change EMS. Again, the EMS Hoop Tech products. And you say, well, why don't you guys make a bucket cap frame? Well, for us to pay EFP to develop it and produce it, the first thing they're going to ask us is, how many are you going to sell? And we'll go 2 years, and nobody will mention anything about a bucket cap. And then we'll, like you said, you're right. It was back in the summer, we were getting calls.
Yeah, it was like the beginning of summer, and it was every day almost. I'm like, what's going on?
But if you do a lot of, I like this better. I like this for bucket caps better than I do the single strap.
Yeah, for that. Yeah.
I mean, if bucket caps is your thing and you're doing a lot, I would get this and just buy one. Just buy one and get a framing device. I think it's probably going to run you about $800 or something. They're not cheap, but they do work. They frame a little differently, but again, you see, you don't have any. This will go on top of the bucket cap bill and clamp down and put your piece of backing in there. And clamp it down. That'll hold it, and you can sew your bucket caps. And it doesn't matter how tall they are. So, another thing I just noticed on this too is, especially on our machines, one thing customers want, they want to get as close to the bill as they can, and you got to be really careful with that, because I do know on some of our competitors, you have a false front where the back of the cap frame, this rim right here, comes up taller.
Oh, it's thick. So it's behind that.
You think that you can sew down to the outside,
right? But you'd stitch right into that aluminum.
On ours, this is your limitation: is how close the presser foot can get to this band. There's a couple manufacturers that the inside of the cap, the metal part, is taller, and you think you can get down here closer, but you can't.
You can once.
One time you can do it. And on this, I noticed too, it's like ours. What you see here.
What you see is what you get.
When this is clamped on there, if you can see what I'm talking about there, when this is clamped on there, you know how far you can get, how close you can get.
That's a good point.
Damaging your machine. I just noticed that. I never thought about it. But
did you call that a false front?
Yeah, but it's a false front. Well, yeah, because you think, oh, I've got this much room, but you don't see the piece of metal behind it. Does that make sense?
It did, but when you said false front, I was like, what is that?
Did I not say that right?
No, I think you did. I didn't know what you're...
Oh.
Then I was like, oh, yeah, you're talking about the band sticking up further. It makes sense.
Well, you're looking at it, and it's telling you, I can get really close.
Then bam.
But it's false.
It's a false front.
It's falsely telling you that.
Yeah, I got you. I'm with you 100%.
And I know a lot of manufacturers can't. If you notice, I notice, man, when I go looking at caps, something you got to understand too when you're out there, and if you don't know embroidery, you've never been around it. If you're watching this, you probably know embroidery, I would think. I can't believe you'd be looking at podcasts and want to listen to this unless you had some embroidery experience or were thinking about getting into it. But I look at caps all the time. I look at, hey, look how close this one is.
Uh-huh.
And this was done by
Antigua.
Out in Phoenix. They gave me that cap. You'll see these caps with all this elaborate stitching on top, and we'll have people come to the show, or the bill will have all this stitching on it. I'll say, "Will your machine do this?" And I'm like,
"Didn't happen in a."
It will do it flat. Mm-hmm. It's not going to do it on the cap frame.
Then you get to piece it together.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, we tried years ago. We sewed through. Remember, some of those caps had the cardboard, had the cardboard bills inside of them. We did a few like that, but what happens is you got all the bobbin
on the
bottom of it. So all that stuff is done flat and is sewn together, and it's usually done in a foreign country.
Yep.
So
that's how they operate.
So I hope you enjoyed this little lesson in the Barudan Advantage Plus and the EMS Hoop Tech cap frame, and check those guys out. They're good people. They make a good product. As I said, we sell everything except their cap frame. We don't sell it. We probably could if somebody wanted to buy it through us, but I would just buy it through them.
Yeah, I just send.
They know our machines, so they know.
Yeah, that's what I do. Send them over to those guys. Yeah. All righty. Got anything else you want to go over? I
think we covered it. I think we got everything. Yeah.
It's probably time for a pretzel.
Yeah. All right. We're done. It's pretzel time.
Yeah, pretzel time. Thanks for tuning in. Go do the thing, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Trade shows.
I did.
Did you mention it?
I did at the beginning. I didn't say Fort Worth. Fort Worth is the end of September into that 1st of October. What is that?
It's 29th.
30th.
No, it's 30th.
31st and 1st? September has 30 days, not 31. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's the 30th, 1st, and 2nd.
Dang it.
Is that right? You know what? I was looking at this morning because I did all the stuff for Fort Worth.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
No, the show's
Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
So that'd be 30th, 1st, and 2nd.
Yes. October 2nd.
Yeah. There's only 30 days in September.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that GPX, Charlotte.
And
16th,
I need
17th.
to mention we have a show in Montreal, Canada. I'm going to that one. That is the Thursday and Friday. It's a weird show. It's a Thursday-Friday show after Labor Day. Labor Day's the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to Montreal on the 6th, and I will be there through Friday.
That is weird.
It is very weird. So if you're Canadian and you're listening to this, we haven't had a show in Montreal in a long, long time. I'm looking forward to going up there.
I'm irritated.
Why?
You know why.
At the Canadians?
Messing with that stuff. Trying to get that literature.
Yeah.
Y'all see me in Canada, it ain't for a good reason.
You'll be in handcuffs.
You better get the Mounties on me.
You'll be in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your efforts. I couldn't have done it.
Yeah,
I'm not a graphics person. I don't understand that stuff.
Oh, I'm not either. I've dabbled in that realm of.
We got another show too in Canada, in Calgary, which will be September 22nd to the 24th, I think. The weekend of the 23rd in Calgary, which is the week before.
You going to that one?
I haven't made up my mind yet.
So that's real close
to Dallas, and I'm gone so much in September already. I love going up there. I love helping those guys out and seeing customers. We got some really nice customers in that area. And Calgary is beautiful.
Not going.
Beautiful.
They speak French?
No.
Okay, I'll go.
Unless they came from Montreal.
Yeah. It'll take me a couple weeks to get over it, but this is a two week process.
Getting over what?
I just mentioned it. Having to deal with that program.
Oh. Well, I would let you know how it turns out, but I can't read French. I can't speak it. I like their mustard.
I'm a deli mustard guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm fuming.
You still mad over that?
It irritated me.
You're not mad. You're just, why? Because you couldn't figure it out?
That and what I thought I had got done before I left wasn't done. You know what I mean? And that's what makes me mad. If I want to get something done before I move on to the next thing, then I have to come back and do it again.
But you learned a lesson.
What?
You know how to do it now.
I don't want to do it.
Well, you won't have to.
10-4.
I would have never asked you to do it, but there's no way I could have done it. You got farther along than I ever could have dreamed of doing.
In my defense, doing it on a Windows machine, I wasn't as familiar.
Oh.
So
you Mac people.
That's the only way.
I'm so sorry.
That's the only way.
If I doubted you,
yeah.
Not a Mac person. I do have an iPhone. These aren't really Macs. These are Chinese phones.
Are they?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I don't know either. Yeah, I'm good. I'll be over it. I just felt like I feel like I let people down. That's how it felt. I don't like feeling that way.
First computer I ever had at work was a Mac. And I didn't know any better.
Well, that's the reason I knew how to operate that program on a Mac. That's the only time I've used it.
I went to work for McPherson Meistergram, and they're going to buy me a Mac top. A Mac top. They did. They bought me a Mac top.
I wish they would call them that.
They should have.
Mac top Air?
No. They said, what kind of laptop you want? And I said, can I get a Mac? And they said, yeah. And they bought me a Mac. IT people were livid.
Yeah, it's not a dream for those folks.
We can never get your email and stuff. So well, let's see. We didn't have when I first went. We didn't have computers.
No.
So when we started getting computers, I wanted a Mac because in my previous job, that's what I'd used. And boy, IT, no.
Yeah, it's not. That's not their dream.
I think somebody stole it, so I had to get a Windows. Once I started using Windows, now I can't remember how to do a Mac, and I know the clicker thing, the mouse.
Mm-hmm. I go between worlds. I daily.
I don't see how you do that.
It messes me up.
I don't. I've got an iPad and I've got an iPhone. Again,
Chinese. It's not. I don't know if it is. I don't care.
Yep.
All right. Well, Canada, I do love you. I really do. It wasn't your fault.
I'm going to bring back some of that French literature for you, and you can put it in your office.
I will burn it in effigy in front of the podcast. I'm going to light it on fire on this table. Yeah. All righty. We're out. See you guys on the next one. If you got anything you'd like to hear about, we would appreciate it.
Yeah, if you got any podcast suggestions.
Barudan StitchPhiles@gmail.com.
We need to get a couple more guests on here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll be, we'll probably do one. We might do one with John down at.
It's up to you.
It's up to me. Well, I'm nobody.
You're the producer.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we're doing one.
I'm the talent.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, you're the model.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys on the next one.
Give me a pretzel, I'll do anything.
I keep that in mind. The dog's hungry. I got to go feed him. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.